Hey, Pat Batchelor here. Today you're in for a great show as we talk about kind of this mind game you have in your head when you're looking for a job, especially if you're an entry level engineer. And that mind game is I'm an imposter. If you feel like you struggle with the imposter syndrome, today's going to be a terrific little short video for you. I hope you enjoy it. So let's discuss. Hi, I'm Pat Batchelor, and this is the DIY Engineering Career Builder Podcast. With 25 years as an engineer and 10 as an engineering recruiter, I'm now stepping into the role of job search and career coach. I want to help you find a job in half the time and have fun doing it. Whether you're looking for your first job right out of college, your next job, or perhaps one day even your dream job, I'm here to guide you to the next step. This would be fun, entertaining, educational, and most importantly for you, empowering. So let's get started. Hey, Pat Batchelor here. Want to talk to you a little bit about the challenges of job search and understanding that it is going to take you slightly out of your comfort zone. Anything that's new is going to take you outside your comfort zone, and you're going to have to kind of try to face that fear, that real fear of man, I'm not sure I'm doing it right, I'm going to do it wrong, or I'm going to make mistakes, or I'm an imposter. And we've all been there, trust me. Learning new things often takes you outside your comfort zone. Learning how to ride a bike. Oh my gosh, I remember when I was a little kid and I wanted to ride a bike, and I got my little bike and I felt comfortable with the training wheels on there, but when you took the training wheels off, it was really scary. And I remember I got out on the back, out in the backyard, and we're cruising down, and I started riding the bike, and I was going straight and I was riding down the yard, and I remember looking to the left and to the right, and my brothers and sister were riding along with me, and I was going, get away from me, I don't want you to cause me a wreck. And sure enough, they stayed away from me, and I finally coasted to a stop and put my feet down, and I was shocked. I learned how to ride a bike, and but it was scary. Well, the same thing happens to us, in that same emotion on the inside happens to us all the time. It's going to happen to you when you are in first grade. It's going to happen to you when you're in seventh grade. It's going to happen to you when you're in college or even beyond. And so, I could give you another story of a super fail. That one I succeeded. Let me tell you about another story where I failed for a full year. I played football in elementary school, and it was kind of easy. But when you went to junior high, it was a whole new step. All of a sudden, if you were pretty good on your football team, there was 6 other schools that fed into the same one. And I remember there was just some linemen that were amazing athletes. I mean, Eric Biscamp, Robert Windsor. It was just, man, these guys were great. And it was just me, and I was just like looking at them going, man, they're way better than me. And so I decided not to go out for the 8th grade football team because I was scared. Just scared. And so what did I do? My dad said, Pat, you've got to have a job. You've got to do something after hours. And so I became the manager of the football team. So I didn't play with them, but I hung out with them. And after a season of watching them play, and then the off season, I said, you know what, I can keep up with these guys. And so started lifting weights, doing all the off season training. So when football camp came open, I joined the team, and I was okay. I mean, I wasn't that great of a high school football athlete or star or anything, but I made the team. In my senior year, I started almost every game and had a great time. So thankful that I stuck, even if I didn't have enough to say I'm a really good football player. I was barely enough just to get onto the team. I had a coach one time says sometimes high school football does more for the kid than the kid will ever do for the team. And I was probably one of those people. It served me well. But anytime we try something new, especially a new field, or if you're just breaking into engineering, you're straight out of college and you're going, I may have a title civil engineer, but I don't feel like one. And we may have the training, we may have the certifications, we may have spent $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 on an education up here, but you haven't got the confidence in here. And I understand that, and I get it. And it's called, we all suffer. We all suffer from imposter syndrome. And sometimes you just say, you know what, I'm not sure I can make it to the big leagues, but maybe I could start off in AA or AAA or whatever. And I just want to tell you, if you are an engineer, and I have one engineer, in one of my classes, dropped out after the first week, just dropped out. And talking with him later, he was just like, I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready to do all that stuff that you're talking about. Networking, calling people, holding myself out as an engineer, when in my heart of hearts I just knew I wasn't ready. I had the education, but I didn't have the experience to go with it to give me the confidence that I could do what you were asking me to do. So I just want to let you know, completely understand. Everybody has it. And here's the one thing I want you to understand. When you're connecting, if let's say you're an industrial engineer, you went to Texas A&M, you got your degree, and you're starting to reach out to people in your network because you're looking for a job. When you reach out to them, you say, hey, I'm an entry-level industrial engineer looking for my first job. I guarantee you, everybody's been there. Everybody's been there. Everybody has been a freshman in college. Everybody got their degree. Everybody is sitting there going, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to get a job offer. They sweat over it. They worry about it. They're anxious about it. So you reaching out to them, they're not going to give you a hard time. They're going to say, oh, you're not good enough for us. They're just going to go, oh, entry-level kid trying to find the first job. Yeah, I don't have anything for them. And they move on. Or they might say, entry-level kid, you know what? I've got a role for this guy. And next thing you know, they call you back and you've got an interview. And next thing you know, you get hired. Everybody that you're going to talk to, every hiring manager you're going to talk to has been in your shoes. Every one of them. Now there may be 2 or 3 that were prodigies and, they come graduate and colleges or, employers are calling them up. But generally, for most of us mortals, it doesn't happen that way. It certainly didn't happen that way for me. So just want to let you know, imposter syndrome, it's a real thing, but it's not a good reason to stop searching for a job, to quit and just say, you know what, I give up. I'm never going to do it. It's not a good reason. Look, we've all been stuck in our career. We've all been stuck in our job search. And it's not a shame. It's not a bad thing. Well, everybody's gotten stuck. But staying stuck, that's a problem. Because if you stay stuck now in this spot in your career, it may last for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. And there's no benefit to you being stuck. Sometimes people get what I call comfortably miserable. I'm living in my parents' basement. I'm tired of it. It's frustrating. I don't have any money to spend. I'm playing video games all night long. I'm not really working on my jobs. Not really working at my job search. Because it's just too frustrating. People are going to say no. Nobody's ever going to call me back. And like I've told you before, if all you're doing is applying, don't worry. Nobody will ever call you back. But there is a way to go about doing a technical job search. And if you're at this spot, you're probably in the course and you're learning. Oh, this is how I do the job search. So just want to let you know, don't worry If your resume is not perfect, don't worry if your LinkedIn profile is not perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. There's only the showing up, being authentic, being real, being energetic, and doing your job search. And some companies may say yes, some companies may say no, but if they never hear about you, you're never going to find out, yes or no. So I just want to encourage you, lean in to your job search. Take each day, each step, work at it, try to do your best, but don't, take your job search seriously. Just don't take yourself too seriously. And get your eyes off of yourself and focus on the work at hand. So that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed this tip. And just remember, imposter syndrome happens to all of us, and we're all scared when we first get out of school, when we're looking for a first job. So don't be afraid. Just take that step. Bye-bye. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. Every episode my goal is to make this podcast fun, entertaining, educational, and empowering. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to get information on how to update your LinkedIn profile, visit www.diybjs.com. So that's all for today. Be safe, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. God bless you.